What's up, Guardians? Peace and Grease here, and today we're going to be talking about the three main resources that you are going to be using in episode Heresy. Now, to be clear, yes, there are more than just three resources, but we're going to be talking about the main three resources. There are some resources that we do not yet know what they do. For example, the Curio of the Nine. We may find out later in Act 1 or Act 2 or even Act 3, so obviously I'm not going to be talking about that today. Instead, we're going to be focusing on the three primary resources you're going to be using the most. The first is the Metastasized Essentia, the second is the Essence of Desire, and finally the third is the Sigil shards. So, let's start with the Metastasized Essentia first. What is it? Where the hell do you get it? What do you do with it? Okay. So you will find these as you wander around the Dreadnought. Like all planetary resources, they will be marked with a triangular icon. They're typically going to be like a plant or something along those lines. You would simply approach it, interact with it, and you would harvest some, like any other planetary resource. This particular planetary resource kind of looks like, what's the best way that I can describe it? Like a taken COVID plant is kind of what it looks like. It's kind of hard to miss. When you see it, you'll know it. Now, once you have 10 of these, and you must have bare minimum 10 of these, you will return to Eris's apartment, and you would approach this statue pillar-looking thing. Now, as you can see on my screen here, it says not enough Metastasized Essentia, 10 required. I'm 4 short. Once you have 10, you bank them into this pillar. You'll receive some rewards as well as some Essence of Desire. If you're wondering how do you get it, that's how you're going to get it. Now, you can use your Essence of Desire in one of two ways. The first is you can actually use it to open some chests on the Dreadnought. Currently, there are two types of chests on the Dreadnought. The first just kind of looks like a regular cooler, and the only thing it really drops is maybe a little bit of glimmer and some sigil shards. That's about it. The second is smaller, but it looks a little bit more ornate, and this requires 2 Essence of Desire to open, and you will typically get a piece of loot along with sigil shards and potentially some glimmer as well. So that's the first way you can use your essence. The second way is on your Tome of Want. So, how do you get your tome? Okay. You're going to actually approach the slab here. Once you reach reputation rank 3 on the slab, which you will actually gain rep just by running around the Dreadnought, completing encounters and activities, once you reach rank 3, you can grab your Tome of Want. It really is just that simple. You grab it and you're good to go. So this is the second way you can use your essence. You would actually come over here to your accessories, details, and then you'll notice 3 boxes. The last and final box is where you apply your essence to your Tome of Want. Upon doing so, this guarantees you 3 rewards from activities. Pinnacle activities, raids, dungeons, crucible, gambit. You get the idea. Once you get 3 rewards, regardless of what they are, you burned up that essence on the tome. You now have to reapply essence to the Tome of Want, and then that way you can get 3 more rewards. This is something you're going to be doing over and over and over again. So, just to be clear. So that's the last square, and how you apply your essence. Now you will also notice that there are 2 other squares here, the first and the second. The first square here is essentially when you start off, you're going to have access to, I think, 2 scriptures here. You're going to have episodic weapons and episodic armor. I don't believe that these others are unlocked until you progress through it. Somebody will have to put a comment down in the comment section. But then on the second square, this is where your armor and weapon focusing is located. So this is where you're going to find that. This does not unlock, as you can read in the red there. Purchase requires 14 more rewards acquired through the Ritual of Desire. That means, in order to unlock weapon and armor focusing, you're going to have to apply essence to your Tome of Want 5 different times. Each one giving you 3 rewards. 5 times 3 is 15. Then you can unlock armor and weapon focusing. Now, be aware that some of these are not available yet because the weapons, I don't think, are even available to be focused. I've heard rumors that if you run the expert difficulty Dreadnought, you can get some of these weapons. Don't know if that's a bug or if that's legit, but it may be something to consider. Now, this brings us to our third and final resource, which is actually sigil shards. Now, in order for you to focus weapons or armor, you're going to need Sigil shards. So that's one way that you can actually use them. Once you unlock your focusing, you will require 100 sigil shards to focus a piece of weapon or armor. So that's one way. The second way, you can access in two different locations. It does the same exact thing. The first is on the slab here on runic enhancement. This unlocks runes. So there are 4 level 1 runes, there are 3 level 2 runes, and finally there are 3 level 3 runes. So your capacity is, the level here is also your capacity. So the 4 level 1s cost 1 capacity, the 3 level 2s cost 2 capacity, and the 3 level 3s cost 3 capacity, as you would expect. So in order to activate these, you would just simply, whatever your capacity is here, or your level, you would click on what you're interested in. So if I was interested in a Rising Rune, my first death doesn't consume a revive token, and Prosperity Rune. Harvesting Materials provides Sigil shards as well. Or, since I have 2 capacity, I could just go with the level 2 rune. Healing Orbs also provide an Overshield. So you kind of get the idea. Once you get level 3, you'll have 3 capacity, and then you can use up to a 3 capacity. Like, so 3 level 1s, a level 2 or a level 1, or just a level 3. You kind of get the idea. So that's the other way that you would use them. Now you can find the runic enhancement screen in 2 different locations. Obviously the first one is here on the slab. But you can also find this screen actually on the Dreadnought when you first spawn in. When you first spawn into the Nether, or as I'm just calling it, the Dreadnought, right around where you spawn, whatever tile set you spawn on, you will notice a small green circle with what looks like a hive skull in the middle of it. This is the terminal. You can quickly interact with it right when you spawn in. You can find out how many sigil shards you have. Last I knew, unless this has changed, cap was 300. So if you're at 300, you probably ought to start using some of them. You can actually purchase runes. You can check how many sigil shards you actually have. You kind of get the idea. But understand, as soon as you leave the spawn area and you start encounters, that terminal at spawn disappears. So you cannot go back and actually kind of access that terminal again. So just something to be aware of. So there you have it. That is the 3 main resources. Hopefully it helps you out. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down there. If I can help, I will. And until next time, peace out.